Hello, people. I was supposed to, start the streaming session at 1:30, but then my stomach, started acting up. So it took me a while to to be like this. Hold on, to spray my my throat with this. Oh, my God. We can do a bit of speaking training. We're gonna do this for about 1 hour and 30 minutes, or 2 hours. I need to get the engine running because after yesterday's streaming session, I stayed up for 1 more hour, so I ended up going to bed at around 2 in the morning, and I had a class at 9 today. It was okay, but it was nothing explosive, nothing special, because my mind was so scattered. I couldn't connect the dots as fast as I usually can. So I imagine that it's gonna be like that, at the beginning of this session as well. I'm gonna have a hard time, piecing what you guys say together, and then I can give you a feedback. I don't assume that giving feedback is gonna be that much of a hassle, but as you can tell, I'm really trying to connect the dots at the back of my mind here. Hello, Zed, I can see you. Just give me a moment. I need to, how should I say this? I need to get the engine running, because even though I do look alive, my mind is not, functioning well yet. So, hold on. Let me look up a few speaking forecast questions. And then we can have a chat. Okay, here it is. The writing lesson this morning was pretty engaging because there was that essay about something or another, and what happened. So it was a good lesson because I was able to cover all the bases. We went through the essay, right? I corrected my students' essays. I gave them feedback, which was not exactly, all good things, but they understood everything I said. And we went through a sample answer, which talked about the possibility of saying that a trend was neither positive or negative for the two-part questions. So that was nice. And then we went through another writing lesson concerning a particular question that was pretty hard to cover. So as you can tell, my mind is still super scattered. And you see, I guess that's why when you're preparing to take the IELTS test, or any tests for that matter, you need to get enough sleep, because even though you can still communicate effectively, when you have conversations with people, it's gonna take you a bit more time to, like connect the dots. Wow. And this is the third time that I've used that particular idiom in the past 8 minutes or 4 minutes. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We can start the speaking test now, and let's hope that I can find my groove. Allez.
Are you much better now?
Not much better, but I can connect the dots.
Oh, so can I have a small practice? Oh, you are off now.
No, I was just adjusting the screen.
Oh, so can I practice a bit with you?
Sure. You're suggesting part 3 only?
Yes, I think so. I think I will focus on part two. But you can ask me any questions.
Part 2 or part 3?
Or part three.
Part 3, okay. Tori, he, I went to the same high school as you, just maybe 5 or 7 years later. Oh, okay. I thought that we were in the same class year. Fine. That's a very lovely high school. But to be honest, sorry, what's your name again?
Oh, my name is Ming. Yeah.
Okay, Ming, give me a moment. I want to have not exactly a conversation because this is me doing my monologue, but I want to have just 1 or 2 minutes to have a monologue with this person, Tori. So you're talking about Talam High School, right? It's a lovely school. The teachers there are probably the people that I have never met in my entire life, because I studied in the old school for 1 year, and then it got constructed, and then we moved to like the new school. But I do have to say that like the old architectural design of the school was much better than the faceless blocks that we have access to now. I don't think that you can wrap your head around what I'm saying, but Tanglong in the past used to have that nostalgic charm because it was an old school, and except for the horror of the WCs, everything else was perfect. There were lots of trees, and it always felt so peaceful. Yeah. So that's what I have to say about Tanglong. Okay. I have a question, Ming. Are you a student?
Well, I'm a first year student.
First year student. Well then, let's talk about your high school, not for the speaking test. I'm just curious. Was your high school a modern or traditional one?
I must say, more than one. Do you know the Vidic High School?
Oh, yes, I know. But
Yeah.
so you graduated, you have graduated already?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a few students who are also attending Việt Đức right now, and
Oh,
they all say that the school has just finished rebuilding or restructuring.
yes, exactly it, exactly it.
Okay,
No, I think it's not finished yet. We still I've seen another school which is opened for students because I think the school is still on the building period. I mean, yeah, it's not finished at all.
okay, but all right, sure. I honestly don't know because that's what I heard from my students. Well, then,
Mhm.
since you were there when the school was still, in its original form to such an extent, what do you have to say about, the two versions of your high school? Which one is better in your opinion, aesthetically speaking?
Well, actually, I haven't seen the exactly new construction yet
Okay.
because when it was rebuilt, I have graduated. So Yeah, basically, I've also heard about the formation of reconstruction, but I've just not seen it exactly. So
So you haven't seen the new school?
yes, yes.
Okay. Well then, it means that you have no horse in this race. Alright, sure, fine. Let's do the speaking test then. People, you can make a request to, do a bit of speaking practice. But first I need to find somewhere to leave my notes. So which school are you attending?
Oh, currently,
Oh yeah, you're a university student now. Congratulations. I hope that you're having the worst time of your life, being buried under all kinds of deadlines and ridiculous assignments where you have to team up with horrible people who can't seem to, pull their own weight and force you to, pick up their slack. Nice. Are you going through a tough time at your university?
yes. I mean, well, for now, I'm majoring in the business administration, and the major is, quite various. I mean, I have learned so many subjects, and for now, I don't know what is the real purpose of learning all these subjects. I mean, I cannot apply for my future.
Not yet. But okay, I understand your viewpoint. I was there once. Sure. But okay, so you feel like your experience at your university is still kind of amorphous, like you don't really know what to make of it?
I mean, we all learn about, some basic subjects like something related to history. Yeah, it's about lịch sử Đảng or tư tưởng Hồ Chí Minh, which I found pretty, monotonous and dull. I mean, I don't understand how these historical events will help me become a very successful businessman in the future.
Hold on. Let's not open that can of worms because if I do post this particular YouTube video, we're gonna get in trouble. So essentially what he's saying is that he's having a hard time navigating these subjects because they contain lots of information, that's all. Then, I really wanted to ask a smart question, but after jumping in and interrupting you, that thought has slipped my mind. Okay, we can do a bit of speaking practice now. Why am I not looking at any questions? Okay. Let's talk about views. Do you think that natural views are better than city views?
Well, I think it's really depends on personal preferences. I mean, for someone who loves the feelings of being close to nature, would find natural views are much better than city views. Well, maybe they love the natural sense. I mean, and they also love the tranquil atmosphere there, which is pretty hard to find in the cities. And yeah, maybe enjoying the natural view also, is also very refreshing for their body and their mind. However, for someone who loves city views, they might are fond of the sense of development. For example, they can see many skyscrapers. Yeah, in the cities, So maybe it will bring them a sense of innovation, and it will motivate them to work more harder to contribute to the society. Yeah, like that.
Okay. Some people say that we should remove all public parks in city so that we have more space for large buildings. What do you think about that suggestion?
Well, I think it is not a good idea because right now many big cities, many urban areas such as Hanoi cities, is it is being is polluted by the bad the unclean air or even the traffic congestions. So I guess a public park will have to ease the polluted air because it is really hard to find a peaceful atmosphere like in the park, especially in some polluted cities like Hanoi City. So yeah, to me personally, public park is quite important. It helps balance the pollution, and it helped mitigate the pollution in in big cities.
Do you think that residents in urban centers around the world actually make full use of public parks?
Oh well, it is really hard to say. I mean, maybe I might say yes because, well, for now, I'm lived quite near a public park named Thống Park, and whenever I go there, I see a lot of people exercising. So I guess yeah, they do
How
know.
about people in, other areas of the world? Do you think that they're also making good use of public parks?
Well, actually, it's really depends. I mean, if they if they are if they pay attention about their health and want to adapt a healthy lifestyle, then I think they will want to make use of the public park. So I mean that is why I say that it is really hard to answer this question because I haven't seen so many people from around the world using the public park.
Okay, thank you. Do you still have enough fuel in your tank to go for one more speaking part 3 topic?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the sky. What kinds of things can you see when you look at the sky?
Oh well, when looking at sky, I can see several things like maybe the planes or some wild animals such as birds. Yeah, carpet.
Well then, do you think that there's anything special about, sunrise and sunset?
Could you repeat the question?
Do you think that there's anything special about, sunrise and sunset?
Well, actually, I don't. I'm not much of a sightseeing viewer. I mean, I'm not really into looking at sky, but maybe when the sun rise, I mean, it will like it. I think when the sun, I love the views of when thầy thầy hỏi em là sunrise với lại gì à? Em quên mất. Sun. Well, maybe I prefer the sunset views more because it look more, charmstic. I mean, I think it much more beautiful than when the sunrise or because I haven't seen the sunset so many times because
Thank you.
it yeah.
Some people say that we should invest more in space research. What is your opinion about that?
We should invest more in space.
Space research.
Oh, well, yeah. I think it is. It is important too. I mean, since many living areas in the planets are polluted, badly polluted. So I guess investing in research play allowed maybe researchers and explorers to find out a new habitat for human beings and other species as well. Yeah.
Do you think that we'll be able to actually get in contact with alien species?
Well, I haven't, thought about it before, but I guess yes. I mean, I think that maybe in other planets, there are also, some living organisms that taking place. I mean, yeah, we can so by researching or exploring other planets, we can stay in touch with aliens or even making friends
Thank you.
with them.
That should be it for now. Okay. Now, your answer to the next question will decide the tone of feedback I'm going to give you. Will you take the test anywhere down the line? And do you have a goal that you want to achieve?
Yes, I have a goal, and maybe I aimed for about 7 to 7.5, around that.
Okay. And when are you planning to take that test? Or is it, something on the card, but you're not quite sure when you're going to do it?
Well, actually, I've just taken the test on Wednesday, but I've encountered some technical problems while doing the test. So yeah, I needed to fill the complaints form because I cannot finish my reading mock tests.
Okay. Right. But the question is still, like, how much more time do you still have in preparation for the test?
So I'm still waiting for the BC response. I mean, for now, they are still dealing with my complaint form. I mean, yeah, I have to wait for them. So I guess maybe around 1 month later I would take the test again because yeah, for now I know that I still need to practice.
Fine. Right. So you're aiming at 7.5. Let me give you some of the more positive feedback first, and once we have sorted that out, I'm gonna give you the business, okay? Well, I thought that you did a far better job in the first topic, which was about green areas. Your answers were very natural, and I like the fact that you were capable of adding details as you navigated your way out of these questions. Your pronunciation was also pretty clear and understandable for the most part. With regard to your vocabulary, I thought that it was fine, although I didn't exactly notice any particular signs of sophisticated wording. So perhaps that means you need to slide in just a few more uncommon words related to that particular topic, or just uncommon words in general. Okay. There are a couple of errors here. Tranquil. Can you say that word again? I think that there are two ways to pronounce that word. Tranquil or tranquil.
Tranquil atmosphere. Yes, it's true.
Sure. I mean, there are two ways to pronounce that particular word, tranquil or tranquil. Qual with the qual more, right? But yeah, you might want to look it up again to check its pronunciation, to work more harder. It was a slip, but when I heard it for the very first time, I noticed it right away. So unfortunately, it's no longer a slip. Okay, so you have to be careful with that kind of grammar. And for the first question, you ended by saying, yeah, like that. Like, I had nothing against it. It's just that from my personal experience, when like you're doing a test, you need to be able to drive home your message effectively. And instead of ending your answer like that, you can perhaps try to be a bit more, how should I say this, a bit more in control with regard to the ideas that you can bring to the table. If you feel like you're already running out of things to say, try to lower your voice and stretch the words out. Right? You say something like, "So I assume that in the future, we'll unfortunately have fewer parks because of that. Because of that." Okay.
Oh,
Right. That's in my opinion, a positive habit to have. Although there's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, like that. Because, when like you're really out of your depth and you have nothing else to offer, of course you're gonna end your response in a rather clumsy way, right?
yes.
Um,
Because I'm easily, forget the questions. So even as you repeat the questions, sometimes. So yeah,
well, then there's another issue that you need to get to grips with. Okay. For some reason, you're still saying Hanoi City. Isn't that just Hanoi?
I think, yeah, we can say Hanoi or Hanoi City, right? I think so.
I
Or
know,
you
I know
just,
we'd say New York City, but it's because
yeah.
that's its full name, New York City, NYC.
Oh,
We don't say Tokyo City. We don't say Sydney City, right? So Hanoi is just Hanoi. Ho Chi Minh City is Ho Chi Minh City,
oh,
right?
yes.
Okay. But I guess it's just one of the technical issues. I mean, I wouldn't penalize you for saying Hanoi City. I'm just saying that there's a more natural way to
Yeah,
deliver.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And also you have to be careful with the S, the plural form. Hanoi cities, really?
No, I'm not adding the S sound. Maybe, yeah, I miss, interpreted. Hanoi City.
Okay. Or
Yeah.
cities like Hanoi, right? So essentially, in the very first topic, your answers were sensible. I understood everything you said, although to be honest, I don't really remember what your messages were because I was like drawn into your chunks of words, which was a good sign, right? Um, you also made the mistake of pay attention about. If you say pay attention, the collocation here is to pay attention to,
You. Yeah.
pay attention to, or care for, or care about. Right?
Yes.
Now, so after that particular topic, we moved to a far more challenging one, which was the sky. And well, you can tell that it was
I
not
mean,
exactly the best performance.
yeah, I mean, I can do many topic, but I'm not really into skies. And actually, I have tested about the topic sky before, and yeah, the results was pretty bad. But I don't like it. But unfortunately, today you asked me the same questions about the skies, so yeah, maybe I need to practice more about this topic. I mean, I know that my weakness is about the vocabulary and the grammar. Yeah, so
Okay, well, let me give you a sample answer related to a question in that particular topic. I think that I have already said this more than a few times. It's just that, when you're doing a test, you don't get to pick your battle. So if the examiner gives you a hard topic, well, you can cuss the fate later on or at the back of your mind. But as you're talking to the examiner, you still have to take the initiative of, adding as many extensions as possible. Because again,
Yes.
the test is not about, whether you like or dislike the topic. Okay?
Yeah, I know it. I know.
So let me give you an example. The
Yes.
first question, like what kinds of things can you see when you look at the sky? Well, the strategy here is to first of all acknowledge the fact that there are countless things to talk about, right? And when saying that, you're also buying some time, for you to essentially gather some sort of momentum at the back of your mind. And then you can focus on specific things, right? And as you cover these specific things, you should try to add a few more details, right? Don't focus excessively on explaining why or, going in depth into the depiction of these things, because the sky is actually a really hard topic, not because it's super sophisticated, but it's simply because we don't talk about the sky,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So it's hard by virtue of being something that we don't often discuss, right? So my response to that question would sound something like this. Well, I suppose there are countless things that you can see when you look up at the sky. And I guess one of the things that people tend to see is really just clouds, randomly passing by. A lot of people enjoy, observing the sky and watching how the clouds just mindlessly drift from one place to another, because it's a good way for them to temporarily take their mind off work, and that would allow them to sort of recharge their batteries, especially after working for many hours. And every once in a while, there might be a very beautiful sunset, which just lights up the sky with like very strange, psychedelically colorful rays of light. And I think that I've seen a few photos, capturing moments like that on the internet. So I guess, that's one thing that people can see. Sometimes you can also see like airplanes flying back and forth. Like a couple of months ago, we had this epic event, which was the anniversary of the birth of our country. And like the Air Force was rehearsing their routine on a regular basis. So we would see, jets and airplanes flying across the sky virtually every single day. And it was truly a spectacle, right? So through that particular sample answer, what I'm trying to tell you is that, first of all, this is something that you have already known. In speaking part 3, that's where the examiner is gonna try to confirm whether you're actually on the level that they think that you are. So if you can match their expectation, you're gonna get a really good score. If you exceed the expectation, you're gonna get a slightly higher score. But if you fumble the ball, you're gonna fall pretty far, right?
Yeah.
And this is not like an official way of marking, but from my observation, when candidates that perform really well in speaking part 1 and part 2 fail in speaking part 3, oftentimes their overall score is going to take a massive blow. Right? It can drag them as far as from 7.5 to all the way to 6, or 7 to 5.5. Understand? So now that you're aware of the fact that there are certain topics that you dislike,
Yes.
I think that we're on the same page here with regard to what you should do. You definitely need to practice more, and you need to work on that mentality of like, this is not my favorite topic, so I'm gonna give you a really haphazard way to extend my answer. That's not what you want to do in a speaking test. right? It's not that you have anything against the examiner, it's just that you hate the damn topic, which is perfectly understandable. But if you allow yourself to be trapped in that mentality of, giving ambiguous extensions, you're just doing yourself a disservice. Okay, so one thing that I would recommend you to do is to pick a topic and force yourself to speak about it for as long as you can. You don't have to possess specific knowledge about it, but you have to talk about it with details. So, like, I didn't give you any sophisticated description of the sky, right? I just told you some of the things that we would commonly see when we looked up. The thing is that you have to have that sort of momentum when you're doing the speaking test, because the moment you feel like, oh, I'm out of my comfort zone and I'm going to act the way I feel, you're throwing the test out the window, unfortunately. Okay?
Oh.
Good luck then.
So I know that my second topic was really bad, and so what do you think about my band score in the first topic?
Okay. No more than 7. 6.5.
6.5. So what's wrong with it? I mean, how can I improve it about the first part, the first topic?
What was the score that you got? Have you got a score at all?
I mean, yeah, I did, take a test, take the mock test at some English center in Hanoi.
Mock tests don't really count. I'm talking about an official test. Have you ever taken an official test?
Official test. I've just took one during my high school years, and for now, first year students. So I guess I will take the test again because I haven't achieved my goals.
Sure, but you're missing the point. I'm actually inquiring about the score that you got.
6, only 6.
Okay. Well, I think that 6 or 6.5 would sound right. Although 6 seems a bit harsh in my opinion. But okay. Look, if you want to, get a foot in the door, and by that I mean, reaching band 7, you really have to pay attention to your linguistic precision. For instance, you should not say Hanoi cities, right? You should not say work more harder. I understand that, these are the mistakes that are caused by, perhaps your anxiety, or like your how should I say this, like your mind going all over the place. But if you want to get to band 7, you have to be more precise, and there's no excuse for it. So do what you must to be more precise and make fewer mistakes. Okay, while still speaking fluently. Right? For band 6, it's about range. You can extend your ideas for as long as you want. You can talk about many things. You can employ a wide range of vocabulary resources, and the list goes on. Band 6 is all about range, and I think that you have managed to tick out that particular box. If you want to get to band 7, you have to be more precise. So no more amateur mistakes, and that can be quite a challenge for you, right? But that's something that you have to get to grips with. And one of the things, there are 2 things that I would recommend you to do. First of all, you can actually write down some of your answers. I don't know if that's something that you do, and I understand that it's a method that is given the short end of the stick in this day, because people want to just speak completely off the cuff. But the thing about training your reflexes is that if you don't like pair it with exercises focusing on your accuracy, then you have good reflexes, but your precision is like almost zero, which is not what you want to show the examiner, right? So do something about that. You can write your answers down and go through them on a regular basis. It can be pretty monotonous at the beginning, but I feel like it's the necessary evil for you to take your speaking skill to the next level. And that's the first thing. The second thing is that you should go through the same questions again and again. And every single time you can perhaps just focus on your fluency or your vocabulary use, or you might want to add one more idea just to make the training less tedious. Okay? These two things.
Okay.
So your
Thank you.
focus is definitely on precision. Okay? Right. Done?
Yeah, thank you. I got it.
Sure. Good luck. Next person then.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Before we get started, can I have, just a few requests?
Sure.
Because I'm very uptight and probably the person with the, lowest self-esteem on the planet. So can we start things, like easily before, like you ask me some kind of hard questions? Because I really want to get used to the rhythms, because I don't want to sound silly in front of a lot of strangers. I'm very nervous and I'm easily get distracted. So can you do this for me, please?
Sure. We can warm up your vocal cords first. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you? How old are you, if you care to elaborate on your age? Although I know that I should not be asking a girl about her age, but well, it's one of the things that you can talk about. Or you can, talk about your age in ambiguous ways. You can say that I'm in my early 20s, I'm in my mid 20s, I'm on the other side of 25. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? Are you a fan of Taylor Swift? Are you a fan of Mariah Carey? Have you been keeping up with not the Kardashians, but Keely's Isles, things like that?
I'm in my early 20s. My hobbies is sewing, but I'm always after my ears in a lot of deadlines, so I probably don't have enough time for it, which is the thing that I regret most, because I don't let myself relax enough. So yeah, I don't feel like I have a lot of things to talk about myself because I'm very timid and reserved. I don't have a lot of friends and I struggle a lot with insecurity. I don't feel like I'm enough most of the time. So I cope with it by studying a lot. I'm always seeking for external validations. However, I still get nervous, when it comes to tests or examinations. And it's very hard for me because, I have to take the IELTS test, and I have to speak, in front of a very strange person.
I know.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's very hard for me just thinking about like stepping into the exam room and talking to a foreigner. So
Okay, sure. What if that foreigner is super hot?
I don't know. I get anxious too, even if he's hot or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, what do you like most about sewing, right? I mean, I'm aware of that activity. I have watched a couple of videos of people, just sewing things and, talking to the camera. I find it awfully calming. Like it helps to calm you down. Although I can't really like tolerate that kind of content for long because I get bored and fall asleep. So what do you like best about sewing?
I know that those videos can be tedious, but for me, sewing requires a lot of patience.
Yes.
And those process, I don't know, yeah, it does calm me down and it makes me feel more relaxed. And I found it so therapeutic, like sewing something. And I always feel like I'm filled with a sense of accomplishment when I, finish a project myself, when I get to wear something that I made for myself.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question regarding sewing, and I'm going to say something super scandalous. Okay. I hope that you're going to, brace yourself for it. But let's talk about, the things that you have sewn. What kinds of things do you like to create with your sewing skills?
Probably clothes because I think I'm a fashion conscious person, even though I'm so timid. But I love, wearing nice. And who doesn't love wearing nice? Wearing something nice. So probably clothes for myself or for my loved ones. I think that gift giving is also my love language. So it feels so nice when seeing something that you make yourself. Yeah, you made by yourself. Like in in the full form of it, I guess.
Okay. So what is your style of sewing? Like, do you tend to, lean more towards the like monochromatic design, or are you more like avant-garde and experimentative? Like, do you combine colors often?
Yeah, I would describe myself as someone who loves, like think outside the box, even though I wouldn't describe myself as a creative person. Um, and on top of that, but I don't, I don't make things from scratch. I just, I do have a passion for, like thrifting. So I gotta say that I have a, preference for, like turning something old into something more personal, into something, special for myself.
Do you think that sewing is a common activity here in Vietnam? I mean, I know next to nothing about it. A student of mine, who was a male, by the way,
Yeah.
actually suggested that he would spend more time learning how to sew, and I thought that it was a rather weird suggestion, not because of his gender, but because of his personality. He's a baller. He plays basketball and football all the time. So whenever I think about him, I think about how his energy is always like off the charts, and he
Yeah.
can't seem to stay put for long. But then he told me that he wanted to, take up sewing. And the other day I found out it was because he had a girlfriend. And he wanted
Oh,
to learn sewing to make something special for, his romance interest, which was cute, right?
yeah.
But
Agree.
do you think that, sewing is a common activity here in Vietnam?
Well, I wouldn't say so because, like now everything is revolving around, conveniences and, speed. So I think that people have a greater preference for something, like readily available than take time and effort into making something for themselves. In the past, maybe it did, but it did. Sorry, in the past maybe it was, but now I wouldn't say that it would be a like a popular trend, especially among people who are always like still under with a lot of tasks and deadlines.
Hmm. Well, then, from your personal experience, how can we learn to sew? Because obviously it's a painstaking kind of activity. Like, you need to stay focused. And I'm not quite sure about you. I just don't have the sort of like mental clarity and dexterity to, loop these threads together. So what would be your advice for those who are interested in learning how to sew? I'm only asking you these questions because you seem to be particularly interested in that boring activity.
Oh, well, I guess my advice for anyone who who are thinking about trying sewing is that you have to expose yourself into an environment where there is someone who loves this activity. Because I think that people, they learn best when they, like pick up things by the process of osmosis. I mean, like learning organically. Like they have to see someone, they have to observe someone do it in order to get better at it. So yeah, my advice for anyone who, who have an idea of trying this is, getting some exposure.
Okay. Do you think that people should learn how to sew by attending courses or just watching YouTube videos? I mean, for me, I would definitely pick the latter because I don't really have like a sort of social effervescence. I don't enjoy communicating with people. So YouTube would be my go-to choice here, simply because I can, learn how to sew in the comfort of my home.
Yes, agree. I'm totally agree with you because personally, I don't come from a family of means, and when it comes to like studying something or taking up new skills, I think my go-to resort is also YouTube because I believe the notion that we learn from mistakes, and I easily get nervous. So when there's someone who constantly pointing out my mistake, I think that I do worse under pressure. So yeah,
So
I would rather.
do you think that wait, hold on, what's the question again? So do you think that there is any advantage to learning how to sew by attending like professional courses?
Well, I guess like you will learn it more, like professionally, probably, I guess. Like they will have some sort of methods, like probably they have some sort of methods to show you the best way to do it. And it will actually, like save you a lot of time rather than, learning from error and trials. But personally, I would say that as a person who learned everything by myself, I would definitely, like try to teach myself first. If I, fail that mission, I will, like resort to other person, for that responsibility.
Hmm. And let's talk about the products that you have sewn. Have you ever thought about, selling them for a good price?
Actually, I haven't because, as I said before, I'm very occupied with my work. I'm still a student, so yeah, I think that my focus for right now should be studying, improving myself so that I can be qualified. I can get the confidence to call myself a qualified person. So maybe in the future when I have more free time, I will like give it a thought.
Well then, would you recommend that kind of business to other people, like young people in general? Do you think that they can perhaps, learn how to sew so that they can sell products on the internet?
Well, my advice is still the same. I think that, students, our main responsibility is to study, right? So I think that they can give it a try, but it shouldn't be the main focus on their, schedules, in their schedule. I mean, like it can be some sort of small business, but when things get bigger, they, it takes time. It takes time because, I think that education is very important. So yeah, we shouldn't skip this step for the sake of starting a business for ourselves, I guess.
Thank you. That's the end of your speaking test.
So can I
Yeah,
ask for some advice?
sure. What advice do you want?
I don't know. I nothing comes to my mind right now. I just want to hear some feedback, from yours, from your perspective.
Do you have a goal in mind?
I don't think that I have the confidence to say that I have a goal because I don't feel confident. oh my God, I get nervous right now. I don't think that I'm competent. So I just, like get the feedback to see that if is there any improvement I can make.
Okay, first of all, don't expect to hear encouraging words from me. Right? If you're incompetent, then you're incompetent. If you're bad, then you're bad. If you're shy, then you're shy. You are who you are. That's fine. The question is only whether you have a goal or not. Is that a yes or no? I'm not going to ask for a specific number.
Actually, I did take the test maybe 2 years ago. I got a very high score in IELTS speaking test, but deep down, I didn't believe it. I just think that I got lucky. And it and when I went to school, I still had to struggle with a lot of insecurity. So personally, I don't have a goal. I just want to prove to myself that I deserve the score I got, maybe 2 years ago.
Okay, but what you're saying is that there's something wrong with being lucky.
I don't know. I just don't feel that I'm confident enough to get that score, and I don't like the way that people, react to me getting that score. So yeah, deep down, for your information, I got an 8.5 in IELTS speaking 2 years ago, and deep down, as I said before, I didn't believe it. I didn't think that I was that good enough. I just think that at that day, I was very lucky, and the examiner liked me a lot. So yeah, I didn't believe that score. And 2 years from that point, I studying so hard to prove myself that maybe I'm actually deserved. That's I actually deserve that score, but right. And in the very moment, I still didn't believe it. I still don't believe it.
The thing is that I'm not quite sure what the issue here is. I mean, if you don't think that you deserve it, then perhaps you got lucky, or maybe you were lucky enough to perform well in that test, or maybe you were lucky and you had good abilities as well. I mean, if your friends, hold on, are you saying that some people didn't think that you were deserving of that score?
Yeah, there were some people, and I mean, like, they didn't say that like specifically and directly to me, but the way they reacted to my, to the result, it's, I think that it said it all. So yeah, or maybe just my insecurity. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's you and your mind. That's all. The thing is that your examiner were on your side, right? That's the only thing that matters. So I honestly have nothing to say to you. I mean, you still make a couple of mistakes. There were a couple of errors here and there, and you lost control every once in a while. But I don't think I can give you the kind of validation that you're seeking. I can give you advice, but that advice has nothing to do with the IELTS test. It's just that, you're putting emphasis on the wrong thing. That's all. I mean, there will always be people who think that you're not exactly as good as the band score suggests. But the band score is the band score. You're an 8.5 at that particular moment. And even if you're not an 8.5 in other moments, you were still an 8.5 at that particular moment. So nothing contradicts here.
Yeah, that's very kind of you to say so.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's because I pity you or anything. It's really just the way it is. The IELTS test is really just a test, and it's valid for 2 years, but it does reflect all the elements that are present at a particular moment. So you got an 8.5 for speaking at that moment, and like, you don't have to seek validation from your friends, because your friends have no business marking you, okay?
Yeah, I got it.
And I personally don't care that much, since you don't have a goal. And like, I'm not here to give you, feelings of validation. All I'm saying is that you got what you got. And if you plan on taking the test again, just be careful, right? And you need to prove your abilities to only one person. Do you know who that is?
The examiner.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all.
About the advice, because I do, like plan to take another test, but not right now.
Well, I guess you can do what you did to get you to 8.5, but you might want to focus on your accuracy more because after band 7, range is taken for granted. Of course you know how to speak English, right? And some examiners can tell that you know how to speak right out of the gate. So what you should pay attention to is just a higher level of accuracy. And that's quite a daunting task. You're gonna get enough trouble just by doing that. But other than that, I don't think that I have anything else to offer you. If you're talking about like confidence, the only way to overcome it is to practice on a regular basis so that you can have a feel for your language.
Yeah. When it comes to accuracy, how can I improve it?
Oftentimes what I do is that I repeat the same thing again and again,
Yeah.
and I just keep my fingers crossed that when I say something along the lines of the things that I have already said, I won't make mistakes. But things don't always go our way, right?
Yeah.
But that's not a problem.
Can you estimate my band score like for that performance, for the previous performance?
8+.
8+? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you a lot. And I will try to, improve on my accuracy.
Good luck.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. You can leave now.
I don't know how to leave. And
Sure, I can help you.
before I leave, I just want to say that I really appreciate your time today.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Micah, hello, do you have speaking classes, like one-on-one sessions? Yes, but these are expensive because I don't encourage people to do one-on-one classes. Oh, God. Let's continue.
Hello.
Hello.
Like I'm kind of nervous. I don't know what to say. At first.
Okay, so this is gonna be an interesting conversation starter. You have a very interesting profile picture.
Yeah, I used to want to use a picture that can express my good appearance or make everybody feel that I am a good looking person. But after all, I do feel that picture which make me seem to be funny and which can make everybody who see in my profile picture and think that I'm a funny people is more suit to my own characteristics. So I make a choice to use this picture as my profile picture.
Fine. Well then, what do you want? Do you have a goal in mind?
I'm currently at I'm still a junior student at a high school, and
High school, how old are you now?
I'm currently 16. I'm on the grade 11.
I wonder if this streaming session is gonna get banned because of that. A 16-year-old. Okay. Well then, why are you not at school?
We at our school we do not learn at the afternoon. On the afternoon, we only learn on.
So you belong to the morning shift.
Yes,
May I ask for the name of your school?
I'm learn at Buxton High School. I'm in Taiwan province, by the way.
That doesn't help. Okay, fine. So you're in a high school. Are you hating every single moment of it?
Yeah, currently yes. I wouldn't like that.
Love it. I mean, I'm just joking. That's all.
Pretty
So,
sad.
do you have a goal in mind? And will you take the speaking test anywhere down the line?
Yes. To be honest, like in the past, I just learned English at its like own like I just try to learn its like the most basic way of English. I just learn new word and like grammar. Just like that, I just learn the foundation of English and do not try to learn something like more advanced. Just some fundamental knowledge with like know some new word or grammar. I didn't like ever take part in any IELTS class before, but I do want to got an band 7.5 plus when I become a freshman on the university. And like in the past, I used to got two mock tests. And I got 6.0 overall at both of them, with speaking at 5.5 at both.
So, what exactly do you want?
I want to have at least band 7 with speaking when I take part in the true IELTS speaking test.
A real IELTS speaking test. Well, then, when will that happen?
Mm,
Is it on the card? Is it like in the cards? And, oh, sorry, that's an idiom. If something is in the cards, it means that you have already kind of chosen a date for that to happen.
oh, yeah. No, yes, I do take it under my schedules. I predict like I predict that I will take that test at like around at the end of the January on 2027.
2 years from now?
A year and a half, to be honest.
Okay, sure. Technicalities. I'm just doing basic maths at the back of my mind. Fine. Okay, then we can do a speaking test and I'll see what I can, offer you in terms of advice. Not that you're gonna remember it. Okay,
Okay, appreciate it.
sure. Let's go through a few speaking part 1 questions. Let's talk about hometown. Where do you come from?
I'm come from Taiwan province, like which can be considered as the main area produce tea, and like, sorry for being like this, but like, may I can have a sec of thinking before I have my speaking test. I have nothing in my mind currently.
No, you don't get to do that. But if you want to have, like a 10-second break so that you can have a cup of water, that's fine.
Okay. Like, I kind of nervous. I've hardly ever speak in front of anybody. It's like, I usually just practice by myself. Like, I will stand in front of a mirror and speak by myself. I usually feel more comfortable and pleasant when I do that than speak in front of every others. That is one of the biggest reason and make my speaking band won't be able to improve rapidly, to be honest.
The thing is that you're not going to be able to improve your speaking skill rapidly anyway. Right? You're making this faulty assumption that it's easy for you to improve your speaking skill, whereas in actuality, that's just not the case. Even if you have the confidence to talk to someone, it doesn't mean that you're going to get a higher score right away. But of course, it's very easy to blame on your confidence. Okay. Now, have you got your cup of water?
Okay, I'm ready now.
Sure. Pull yourself together. You're on a live stream, boy. Get a backbone and roll your shoulders back. Let's continue. What do you like best about Taiwan?
The best thing about my province is the best thing I love in my province is like the personality of the resident here. I do know that the every place got different kind of people, but most people I have met in my province, they are extremely friendly to me, and like once in the past when I have a part-time job which is far from my home, I missed a bus which is the only one who will deliver me back to my home, and like I was like very scared like at that time. But like when I see a woman who just like pass like who ride on the like road, and like I was called her and asked her for a ride, and she accepted. Like I can't believe that. Like in the current world, hardly anybody can believe a person who they are vagil to, and they hardly have any information about them. And I haven't just met that situation once, but like three time, and a lot of person have supported me.
Thank you.
One more
Thank you.
about it is
Thank you. Do you want to continue living in your city in the future?
even if my cities is so good, both about food and people, I'm sure that I won't be in my cities in the future anymore, because like personally, I feel that if I still in here, I will hardly have any opportunity to improve my both career and studies. So I would like to come to to bigger cities and province, which can grant me more things.
Let's move on then. Let's talk about books. When you were younger, did you enjoy reading books?
When I was younger, I need to share that I'm not a kind of person who can spend hours and hours to sit and reading the books. But if I have to say, I would say yes, because I'm a kind of person who is easy to be stressful and tensive, and to sit calmly and read a book is a very good way to give me the peaceful and tranquilities.
Thank you.
And over that,
Do you enjoy reading books now?
at the current time, I don't have enough time for reading books. But if sometime I feel too stressed and and my mind is like have nothing, and like my mind is like have so much things, book is the best way for me to reduce that. So I will say yes, book is still fascinating for me to reduce stress and like do things I want.
Well then, in the future, do you want to read more books?
I would say yes, but if we talk about more than just want, I like about my characteristic. I would say that if I talk about more than just like, I would say no, because I won't be able to sit and read all that kind of book. Other than reading book, I can do a lot of other things, which personally, I feel it more valuable to me, and will grant me more knowledge, more than just reading books, such as to tasks and every other things like meeting
you.
friends.
Thank you. Right. That should be fine. Well, I really wanted to stop you, and like in a normal conversation, you can just keep on speaking. It's just that like when you're taking the test, when the examiner say thank you, you really have to stop. Okay, you're not gonna get any extra point by pushing it forward like that. All right, because when you're in a conversation with your friends, perhaps you can talk over them, but in a test, that's not what you should do. All right. Well, I thought that your answers were very natural. Your pronunciation was easy to understand for me, and you certainly had the willingness to use a very wide range of vocabulary. You said tranquility. Um, you also used a couple of other words, which I noticed. There were a couple of mistakes. For instance, to be vague too. Vague means unclear. I think that when you were telling the story about the lady who was willing to help you, you could call her a stranger, right? You can say that
No.
it's really hard to trust strangers or those that they're meeting for the very first time. People that they're only seeing for the very first time. Okay. Other than that, I think that your answers were fine for for whatever it is that you're studying right now. Any question?
Like, can you give me any advice? Like, I do feel that when I try to speak, my mind is my mind is boggling. I have nothing in my mind. I can improve my idea, or like, even when I've already prepared to use those words, when I start to see the examiner's face and like I face to face with them, I want to be able to like speak to them fluently, even once I already prepare my own mental at first. Like I've always trying to play by ears or something that can practice those, but like after all,
Because you haven't practiced enough. And by practice, I mean you need to talk to other people every once in a while. If you want to practice on your own, that's also a good thing to do. It's just that if you want to have more of a conversational language, you definitely need to talk to other people. You can ask your friends to just help you with like the questions. They can ask you questions and you can give your answers, right? That's the first thing. If you feel like you're not like super comfortable talking to other people, that's one way to do it. The second thing is that somewhere down the line, you're going to have to work on your accuracy. So right now, you're already capable of using lots of words, but there were also lots of mistakes. It's just that for your age and for the time being, I don't think that there's any like benefit to like forcing you to fix these mistakes. It's something that you can work on gradually, right? Gradually, but you should know that you need to practice by talking to other people more so that you become more comfortable with talking to foreigners or just someone who knows English. Okay. And yeah, these are the things that you can do. But you have roughly one more year. So I imagine that you're going to be able to figure out how to like practice in a way that you like. But you definitely need to work on your accuracy, like your word choices, your grammar structures. For instance, when I asked you questions about the past, you always answered them using present tenses. Okay, so you have to fix that. For questions about the past, you have to use past tenses. Okay.
Can you estimate the band I currently got? band I can't really get.
It's between 5.5 and 6 for me, but I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and give you a 6 because you were willing to speak at length. But your vocabulary, how should I say that? It was not super precise, but you had a very nice range of words. So that was fine for me.
Okay. Thanks for your share and advice. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Hello.
So I just want to ask for some advice because I'm planning to move to Australia with my girlfriend soon, but I'm still nervous about my decision. Can you like give me some advice? Like what should I do or what I'm gonna do over there?
I don't know anything about living in Australia. And also, congratulations. I hope that I'm going to give you my blessing right now. I hope you and your girlfriend will have a fantastic time fighting off gigantic spiders and, massive bats. Right? Good luck.
Alright, thank you. Yeah, I'm really nervous. I don't know if my English is good enough for people over there to understand me, but I'm I'm just not too confident.
I mean, I can understand you just fine. But then again, even for native speakers, sometimes they express themselves in a really strange way. It
Yeah,
happens to us when we speak Vietnamese as well, right?
yeah, I can like mimic their accents and the way they talk. Like, people over there, they don't say hi, good morning. They say, yo, what's going on, mate? They say some slang and stuff like that. So I'm pretty familiar with that stuff. I talk to her every day, so I learn a lot of that slang.
So, what's the problem here?
So the problem is, I'm still really nervous when I'm talking to a native speaker. Like, can you give me some advice how to get rid of that nervousness?
First of all, I have never lived in Australia.
Yeah, I
If
know,
I were
but
you, honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't be nervous about talking to Australian people. I would be nervous about the possibility of encountering a massive spider or a giant bat.
oh my gosh.
That's all. Also, enjoy your time there, and if you can somehow promote me to other people, I would appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, I will definitely will. So
That's
can you
all.
like raise my no? Can you rate my speaking skill like how much on the scale of 9?
On the scale of 9,
Yeah.
you don't want that answer. I'm going to give you something that you might find useful. I don't think that you're going to have any issue communicating with Australians because even if you have issues expressing yourself, they are going to help you, and perhaps you're going to be motivated to, improve your language. That's all. I mean, the IELTS test cannot help you with that. If you have already met all of the criteria for you to move there, then you figure things out. You don't need like an English assessment from me.
Oh, all right, interesting.
Good luck and have fun fighting off these gigantic spiders and bats.
This is gigantic spider. All right, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, hello. What do you want?
I'm gonna take the test next week, so I want a mock test so I can have more confidence. And
Where will you take that test, may I ask?
what? Can you repeat it?
Where will you take that test?
In IDB Ho Chi Minh City, in District 3.
Okay. Have you ever been to that place?
I think I had take a test, but in paper based like 6 years ago.
Wow. So you were
Also,
part of the tribe. All right.
it's a long time since I took the IELTS test.
Okay.
So I think my skills is not there.
So you're gonna take the computer version
Yes.
sometime next week. Okay, nice. So do you have a goal in mind?
I won a 7 in speaking, I think.
Okay. Well then we're gonna go through a few speaking questions and then we'll see what I can offer you in terms of advice. Because I forgot the beat. Wow, the old man is here. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Let's talk about what you do. Are you a student or do you work?
Well, I'm about to graduate, and I think that I'm getting a job soon. I'm studying computer engineering, so I want to take a job in the technology area, especially in programming, I think.
Okay. Well then, do you think that it's important that you get to work in a field that you're passionate about?
Definitely, I think it is important for everyone, not just me, to have passions with what they work, because when they have passions in their work, you don't feel tired, and moreover, you can be happy every day you go to the office place, and it can relieve your stress, and you can have more motivations to keep up your hard work, and the overall work performance will boost by a lot if you have enough passions to follow.
Okay, nice. Let's continue. Let's talk about earphones. When was the last time you bought your earphones?
Well, I bought a pair of earbuds last month on Shopee because my own pair of earbuds were broken. So I have to buy a new pair so that I can ready for my IL listening on computer based, and moreover because I listening to music a lot. So I think I bought a really expensive one so I can experience the most high quality music I can get.
Okay. And where can you buy new earphones where you live?
Well, I think that there are a lot of places I can buy a new pair of earphones. Maybe in the electronic world, the store with a yellow board, which really famous in my local area, they sell a lot. They sell a lot of electronic gadgets, and however, I think the price at that store is kind of expensive compared to the one on the online shopping platforms. So I prefer to buy online more and not really have much experience buy a pair of earphones on the physical stores.
Thank you. Let's move on. In the next part of the test, I would like to discuss with you one or two general questions. So we're moving on to speaking part 3. Right? Now pull yourself together. Let's talk about the truth. How can we know when others are telling lies?
Well, I think the most obvious sign is their expressions. When someone lying, they feel really nervous and maybe they sweating, and the face look kind of weird, and you can see their face muscles changing a lot, and through that side you can figure out that that person is lying. And another site to figure out if they're lying or not is their tone. if the person's turn is like up and down and they're not speaking fluently, they can be lying.
Okay. Do you think there are times when it is acceptable to tell a small lie, like a lie with good intentions?
Yes, maybe like my mom, for example, she often tell a lie that she doesn't have a lot of money so that I can understand and saving money and not spend a lot of her money. And since I was a child, I was told to saving my money. And although my mom made a lot of money, she always telling lie that she's not getting enough money for my family, so that I need to saving in order to in the situation of difficulties you have money to spend on.
Okay, fine. Do you think that sometimes we should tell lies instead of the truth?
Yes, the situation I can think of is when a doctor's treating a patient who dying. You cannot say that, oh, the doctor will say that I have tried my best and the patient is currently not working well. The doctor will say lies so that the family members of the patients will not be so shocked. For example, in that situations, telling lie is more suitable than just say the truth because it's maybe too harsh to accept the reality. Maybe.
Okay, fine. Let's continue. Oh, sorry, not let's continue. Let's wrap this up. I can give you some feedback. Are you ready for it? The question is, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I thought that your answers were understandable. You had a sufficient range of lexical resources as well as grammar structures to express yourself, which was nice. Your pronunciation was oddly clear and endearing, which is not something that I usually say about the way that people pronounce English words. But look, I like the way that you answer your, how should I say this, like the way that you deliver your answers. I thought that it was super endearing. If you want to get to band 7, you definitely need to be more fluent because there were a couple of responses during which you didn't really focus on getting the words out, and there were too many unnecessary pauses. Okay, and there were a couple of grammar mistakes as well, primarily the plural and singular forms. Okay, so try to get to grips with these two issues. To work on your fluency, I think that one of the things that you can do is that you should practice answering the same questions again and again so that you have a bank of ideas that you are super familiar with. Okay, and every once in a while when you somehow manage to find a way to use them, you can use them easily. Okay, so in preparation for the speaking test, I do think that you need to have I don't want to say scripted answers, because if you come across as memorizing scripts, you're essentially throwing your test out the window. So that's not something that we should do. But I do think that you should practice answering the same questions in familiar topics several times. You can talk about hometown, study, work, so on and so forth. You can talk about your hobbies. You can talk about how you spend your free time, how you know, make financial decisions, things like that. The bottom line is that you need to be familiar with specific ideas, and then when you know, answer questions, if you can use these ideas, well, I feel like they're definitely going to give you an advantage. And even when you have to talk about uncommon topics, you will still have that sort of, you know, cognitive pattern that you can apply to produce answers without making like 10,000 pauses. It's very important that you're aware of this, because when you do the speaking test, if you make too many pauses, your score would definitely take a hit. Okay?
Okay.
And it has taken a hit today.
So I have to work with like generating idea problems. So
Sort of, kind of, sort of. It doesn't mean that you should only focus on your ideas, because, well, there's, you know, there are only so many things that you can do when it comes to, you know, like generating ideas and adding details to your answers. Okay. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you need to work on your grammar. You were capable of speaking about the past and the present, and you know, some future predictions, but you frequently made mistakes, such as have passions with. Oftentimes, it's like to have a passion for, or have a passion for something, or to be passionate about something, right? And then you can say, and then you said, I can understand and saving money, right? So that I would understand and start saving money, or just save money, okay? And then you said telling lie. Lie is countable. It's a countable noun, so you can say telling lies, lies, right? Who dying? Like who is dying? Okay. So you need to work on your grammatical accuracy. You know, all of the mistakes that I have mentioned, and I think that you can use like AI tools for this. You can make that prompt of like, correcting my grammar, and also you know, help me generate more ideas. That's all. Right? Your pronunciation is already sufficiently clear, and I don't assume that you need even more vocabulary. Although, you know, the more the merrier. But you know, if you want to get to band 7, you have to be more precise when you speak English. Okay.
okay.
Any question?
Yeah, maybe no. I have no questions.
Okay. Good luck, people. I'm not going anywhere today. I'm gonna go off the beaten track and try to speak to all of you for as long as I can. But I definitely need to take a toilet break. So I'm just gonna turn off, not to turn off the screen, but I'm gonna pause the session for 1 minute, and then we will resume. Okay? Right, we are back. Let's continue. Oh, sorry. Right. I'm still charging my phone. I'm not quite sure if... Oh. You see, I'm using my phone for this live stream session. So, okay. I think that it's fine now. Jaden. Okay. Hello.
Damn. Hello, sir.
Hold on. Let me just mess up this hair a little bit.
Yeah, gotcha. Yo, I heard
Okay.
you I heard you gave the guys some of the comments, and I was like, I'm amazed, like your pronunciation, all of your English was like out of this world, man. You know what I'm saying? Damn. I was pretty shocked though. So I hope after this I could learn something from you.
Hold on. Let me choose a sort of enhancement.
Yes, sir.
Just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Just a moment. Well, as I'm searching for that particular effect, can you fill the room with, a monologue about yourself?
Like an introduction?
Yes, kinda, sorta.
Okay. Damn, somehow my heart is beating so fast. Can I have a few seconds? I'm trying to breathe.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's okay, I have that kind of effect. Making people nervous.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm so nervous right now. Okay. So, hello, Doc. May I know your name, please?
Huh?
May I know your name so I could
My name is Keely.
Okay, kill it. Hello. I'll probably call you Mr. Okay. Hello, Mr. Willie. My name is Zabao. I am first year university in Ontario Tech University. I'm currently studying biomedical science in Canada.
Okay. So in Canada right now?
Yeah, I'm currently in Canada. I'm in Ontario right now.
Okay. Is it super cold over there?
So I felt like Canada is kind of like one of my family emotion. So let's say Monday is 20 degrees Celsius. The next day is negative 10 degrees Celsius. So it's very hard for you to say, but the more winter comes, I would say like it's getting progressively lower and lower. So it is freezing.
Okay, cool. Do you remember what you said at the beginning of this session? Can you say that again? Just for the
Oh yeah,
purpose
yeah.
of
Oh
just for
yeah,
the
yeah.
purpose of this activity.
Okay. So I heard you gave the previous guy some comment about his pronunciation, about his skills and other stuff. And I was like, damn, your English is so great, man. Like your pronunciation, like all the stuff. Like I felt like one of my goal is to achieve your kind of English level, some sort like that. Like
You
no
missed
doubt.
you missed a very important phrase. Like you said something about me being out of this world. Say that.
Okay. I felt like your English skills like out of this world. Yeah.
All right, nice. You know what? You're making me, hold on, blush. Can you see it?
Oh yeah. That's crazy. Wait, that's crazy, bro.
I know. I'm evolving in
You got
technological terms.
hyperventilation or something?
Huh?
You got hyperventilation or something?
No, but I
Okay.
can give
But
you that sort of hyperventilation. No,
okay.
but yeah, you're making. Hold on, let me do that again. This is an amazing stunt. You don't get this anywhere else. So you're making me blush.
Oh, you're using the filter, or is it like you can automatically do it?
I mean, I want to tell you one thing
Alright.
but I'm definitely doing the other. I'm blushing naturally with the help of a filter.
Bruh. Okay.
Okay, as you can tell, hold on. Who's commenting what here? He got the first or second place for best English major in national competition or something like that. Pika Cypher, what are you talking about? Okay, never mind. Sure. Now, Zabao in Canada, right?
Yes, sir.
Sure. What exactly? Suit. I mean, what can I say?
Yeah.
That was
Talk what you want.
that was fine. Okay. Well, you got to see my ceiling.
Oh yeah. No, actually, I saw your ceiling twice. You dropped it the first time though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess you want to have a speaking mock test.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a goal in mind?
I'm sorry. Sorry, what?
Do you have a goal with regard to your IELTS score in mind?
Yeah. So my goal of my English, specifically in speaking, is probably around like 8.0 overall. But I felt like one of my critical like drawbacks is my grammar. I'm pretty suck at it, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, the other thing I feel like I'm pretty okay with that. So I hope after this speaking mock test, I could figure out like new route or new tactic for myself, some sort like that.
We'll see. Right, we can start the test now. How old are you? I assume you're in your early 20s.
Yeah, I just turned 18 like 2 weeks ago, sir.
18?
Yeah, I'm 18. Like I told you, I'm first year. I'm freshman, you know.
Okay, well then, that did not ping on my radar. But okay. 18. Wow, you sound old.
Damn.
Okay. Let's talk about let's talk about working with old people, which is a fitting topic for someone of your major.
Okay.
Have you ever worked with old people?
I have not, but I've talked with old people, like my grandparents, maternal grandparents. That's all, because I'm not currently a resident or some sort of medical student yet.
But then, do you enjoy spending time with old people?
So that's an uncommon question for me because I don't normally spend time with old people, excluding my paternal and maternal grandparents. But assuming I'm spending the time with old people, let's say it's my grandparents. I love spending time with them, man. I felt like okay, so there was a time when my paternal grandpa, he told me the story about his love, like about his grandma, or I mean his wife, which is my grandma, yeah. And I find it very interesting, and it gives me another insight about the previous generation life.
Okay. So, do you want to work in a job that frequently interacts with old people?
I would say yes, because me personally, I would probably say I'm probably how to say that, an extrovert, like very extrovert. I love talking with people. I love spending time with my friend, and maybe spending time with old people could also be a new experience for me, which is what I'd love to try.
Okay, nice. Let's move on then. We're gonna move on to speaking part 3.
Yeah, damn, I'm so nervous, man. Okay.
Okay, 18 years old.
Yes,
How long
sir.
have you been in Canada?
Like 2 months.
Okay. Have you acclimated to your new?
Hmm?
Have you acclimated to your new environment?
I would probably say so. I made a lot of new friends, and
Sorry.
I I
I
would
need to
probably
charge
say,
my phone. That's all.
yeah. Back to the question, I would say yes. I made a lot of new friends, and so there was a time I played pool with them, like Ballard, you know. And in Canada, pool is not very popular, but in Vietnam, in our country, which is very popular. So when they saw me playing pool, they were like, "Damn, bro, are you some sort of like professional or something?" And those times were pretty great because I get to talk to them about like how to play pool and other stuff like that.
Nice. Let's continue then. Let's talk about. Okay. Let's talk about being lost. How can people find their way when they are lost?
Like physically lost or mentally lost.
Well, you can interpret it however you want, but I assume that it's the former.
Uh, what's a phobia, sir?
Former, as in the like them being lost in the real world.
Okay. Lost in the real world.
When they have lost their way, they can't find their way home.
Yeah. There's multiple way. There are multiple way for you to find a correct way back. Like me personally, I always use Google Maps when I try to search for like new road or new way, some sort like that. But assuming you're lost in a region where there's no signal and you can't use Google Maps, I would probably use one of the like the oldest trick, which is like like the sun way, like northwest, and whether it's how do I say that? Um, like the way when it's like north, west, east, and south. So I usually use like the dark. I usually let's say
Fine.
okay.
Well then, do
Okay.
you think it's important to do some preparation before you travel to new places?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially to avoid being lost. Like one of the questions you just said, like yeah, and preparation is very good for you, and not only for travel, but in many other fields, especially in medical, where I'm currently studying.
Thank you. Do you think that it's important to be able to read a map?
Absolutely yes. Let's bring us back to where you said what will happen if we're lost. One the first thing we're going to use is the map where we're located at. So if you don't know how to look at a map or determine the direction or which way you are, you're so doomed.
Okay.
So the map is one of the essential way for you for survival and yeah.
Do you think that children should be taught to read paper maps at school?
Paper map. Oh, paper map. Well, I felt like the paper map is pretty easy for children because when I was a kid, kindergarten they don't teach me how to look at a map and locate where am I and which way to go, but I kind of like figure it out. So I think that so it just in my perspective, it is not applicable for other individuals, But for my perspective, I feel like it is unnecessary for teaching children how to look at a paper map because it is very simple task.
Okay, thank you. That should be it for the speaking test. Okay, I can give you some comments. Are you interested in getting a score?
Yeah.
Okay. I do have to say that you have a natural way of speaking, and your pronunciation is intelligible for the most part. You're clearly capable of enunciating ending sounds, and you're speaking in chunks of words. You also have a very natural intonation. Like you know how to stress important bits of information in your sentences. You can go up and down to express your feelings. And in terms of your vocabulary, I thought that it was sufficient, to express yourself. But if you're aiming for an 8, you have to, first of all, you have to be willing to speak a bit more fluently. And by that, I mean you need to reduce all of the unnecessary pauses. And in general, the best way to get an 8 is that you need to streamline your answers. I'm not quite sure if it's synonymous with like simplifying your responses, because sometimes when you think in simple ways, it might backfire because you end up giving very vague details and half-hearted answers, which is definitely not what you should do. But yeah, you need to streamline the message that you want to convey, because your examiner should be able to like understand everything that you say. Okay. In speaking part 1, I asked you a question about the old people. I thought that your answers were, again, natural. But then, for the second question, you really led us down a rabbit hole in a way, because you were going back and forth between maternal and paternal, paternal and maternal.
Yeah.
But like these words are confusing on their own, and the fact that like you were like so fixated on like squaring off with the words just made me so confused. Right?
Okay.
I couldn't really keep track of what you were saying, and personally, I didn't care if you were talking about your maternal, your paternal. You see, the problem with these two words is that they are very similar. So I think for that particular answer, you could have streamlined your content a bit more, okay, so that you can, how should I say this, so that you can make it easier for the examiner to understand what you're saying, okay? And also, as you streamline the content, you will also have an easier time like navigating these questions.
Yes.
All right? You can just talk about your grandparents and how pleasant they are most of the time, and you can talk about the things that you do together, the things that you talk about, the kind of food that your grandma cooks, and the kind of jokes that your grandpa makes, things like that. And you can also talk about your feelings, right? You can be more specific in various ways. You can talk about how often you see your grandparents and how often you see other older people and why. I think that you don't really get a chance to meet older people that often, because as a student you should be spending the bulk of your time at your university, like hitting the books and preparing for very stressful tests considering the nature of your major. And I guess the only old people that you can bump into when you're on campus would be senior examiners or senior professors, right? Professors. And when you go back home, you have conversations with your grandparents, right? Yeah, so you can navigate that question in that way. What I'm trying to say is that don't get bogged down in not so significant details, okay? Okay, now for the second part, which was speaking part 3. I do have to say that you did your best. It just didn't quite hit the mark for me, and let me tell you why. First of all, you were talking about a compass, the thing that would allow you to see the north north, south, west, east, that's a compass. Okay?
Okay.
Bear that word in mind. And then there was that question about the past, right? And then you just started speaking in present tenses. Like when I'm in primary school, really, you're a college student now.
Yeah.
So you say, when I was in primary school, they didn't, not they don't, they didn't teach me anything about like reading maps, right? Or to locate where am I, or to locate where I was using paper maps. Okay, but I was able to figure it out by myself. So I imagine that other kids will be able to do the same thing. Okay.
Wow.
Now, this is not what you asked for, but I would like to volunteer a sample answer for the first question, just to prove a point. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So the first question is about how can people find? Oh, God. How can people find their ways when they are lost? So, hold on. Right. I do have to say that, some speaking part 3 topics are just hard simply because we don't talk about, them that often. We often talk about other things, right? Who talk about maps and who talk about getting lost? But like when you are doing the speaking test, one of the rules of thumb is that you need to think of it as a discussion. So you need to like present an opinion, and then you do your best to give extensions. All right. So for instance, now how can people find their way when they are lost? Well, I suppose that there are a number of things that they can do. The first thing is that they need to stay calm, because I feel like a lot of people may lose their cool when they think that they're lost. And as they freak out, they start losing their clarity of thought. So the first thing that they need to get to grips with is the anxiety. And then perhaps they can use paper maps to find a way. But then again, I feel like paper maps are not that common anymore, mostly because of the presence of like digital devices and the online maps they have access to. So if they don't have paper maps, then they can use the maps that they can access with their smartphones or laptops. Now, I think the most important condition here is that there must be some sort of Wi-Fi connection for them to see where they are. And when like there's no internet connection, now that's going to be a problem. And in that case, perhaps they can go back the way that they have traveled on. And if they see some local people there, they can start asking for direction. But then again, they have to keep an eye out for strangers, because you never know what you're gonna come across.
Wow.
The thing is, so what I'm trying to demonstrate here is not that you have to use fancy words. You have to. It's just that when you navigate like seeking part 3 questions, it's very, very, very important that you think of it as a discussion and you take the initiative of stating your points and explaining yourself. Okay. It's perfectly fine for you to say that, well, I don't think that this method works. This is not something that I would do. This is a good method because it's accessible. Or you can say that, well, when people ask for direction, they really have to be careful. And also, like, they have to have some sort of like the ability to memorize information, because all would be for naught the moment they start forgetting directions that they have been given. Right? So you can extend your ideas in different ways. It's just that you have to do that, okay? And you also have to deliver information in a sensible rhythm, right? That's all.
Yeah. Wow. No, because when how can I say, like when you answer
when you gave me one of the example for the question you gave me previously, you did it so perfect, man. Like I could understand every single word you were saying.
Aw. Do you know what you're
So
doing?
give you a compliment?
No, you're making me
Blush.
blush,
Okay.
right? Logically advanced, as you can see. But
Look.
doesn't my face look like I've been like slapped twice?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Okay. It's back to normal now. Okay.
Can you give me like my overall score based on my performance?
For speaking part one, I thought that you know what? On a good day, if you can streamline your answers,
Mhm.
you might get a 7 or 7.5. But if you choose the convoluted way of explaining all sorts of details without streamlining your content,
Mhm.
that's unfortunately a 6.5.
Okay, I see.
Your accent
Mhm.
is legit. It sounds like you know how to speak English. It's just that, this test has been a while, and like there's this influx of candidates that possess very natural accents. So a nice accent is almost taken for granted, and it's more about the way that you deliver your answers, how accurate you can be with your word choices and grammar structures. So good luck.
Oh, very
Question?
no, not at all. I am very appreciative of the time you spend correcting my English. I'm very appreciated, sir. Hope you have a good day. I think I'm gonna go to bed. It's 4 a.m. in Canada now, man.
Okay, cool. Good luck.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. See you later, sir.
Bye-bye.
How can I wait? How can I leave? Is there a way I could leave? How can I leave?
There is. Let me kick you out.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
A girl then.
Yep.
Okay. So, what do you want?
Well, I have taken an IELTS test several years ago, and I haven't taken it for a while now, so I just want to test my speaking skill.
Do you have a goal in mind?
Well, the previous time I scored 7, so I am aiming for 7.5, but yep, I haven't practiced for a lot, so yeah, I'm just aiming for 7.5, and I'm not so sure I could get it.
No one is for sure until you see that number on your certificate. Okay.
Yep.
May I ask how old you are? You can give me an answer in a very vague way, like I'm in my 20s, or maybe I'm on
Well,
the other side of 20s.
Yep, I'm in my 20s.
Okay, fine. Oh, soon enough, I'm not gonna be in my 20s anymore. Dang man, and I'm not even a billionaire. I hate it. I need to take a page out of, Kylie Jenner's book. That lady became a billionaire. Or maybe, something heir, right? Something heir.
Yep.
But not me.
Well, actually, I followed you on Threads, and I have come across a lot of your posts about your teaching experience, and somehow I came across your TikTok too, and I was really impressed by your pronunciation and stuff. So yep, I have watched your live several times, and this is the first time I have requested to go in here and try speaking.
Well, then the elephant in the room is whether you have liked my posts.
Yep, I did like your post. I come across the post where a girl posted that you share that you did not correct
people in band 5 or 6 in IELTS grading. I don't know.
Okay.
I remember that.
Okay. That was a moment. All right. Did it blow up?
What?
Did that post blow up?
Not actually. I think when I saw it, it just got like 30 likes or something. But yeah, it did like have 2K views on Threads.
Okay. I'm not quite sure what's happening over there. But okay, let's continue. In the first part of the test, I would like to ask you a few questions about yourself.
Yeah.
My God. I like talking a lot, but wait, hold on. Did you catch that? I like talking a lot, E.
What?
I said I like talking a lot, E. Did you catch that?
Not really.
Well, my Vietnamese side decided to say hello, that's all. Yeah, the reason why I'm doing this sort of live stream is to like find my groove because if I were left to my devices, I would just be sleeping all day long.
Yeah.
Definitely
Me
not
too.
a good way to spend my time. Man, what exactly did Kylie Jenner do?
What?
What exactly did Kylie Jenner do to become a billionaire at her age?
I don't know. She's just beautiful and get some privilege.
Well, I don't think I can do the former, but okay.
Oh, I don't think so. You do look good. Yep.
Good is not beautiful. Let's continue. Let's talk about chatting. Do you like chatting with friends?
Well, definitely. I must say I'm very talkative and I can talk about a lot of things, especially my cup of things like fashion and idols. We talk a lot about people who dress really well and who have a good eye for fashion. And I also talk. I also gossip a lot about people's dramas and stuff. And I think that's a good way to kill the time when I do not have something in mind to do in my free time.
Do you prefer to chat with a group of people or with only one friend?
Well, I think I prefer talking with a group of people. Well, actually, I do acknowledge that when you talk to a single person, you may easily get along with them and you can share something more deeply. However, I feel like when I talk to a group of people, I can share different perspective. I can acquire different points of views, and that somehow broadens my horizons. Like I can see how people may have different ways of thinking to a specific matter.
Let's continue. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me pull down a few hair strings just to cover that spot. Let's talk about traveling. In your opinion, why do people like traveling?
Well, there are several reasons why people are fond of traveling. I think the first reason would be they want to relax and seek their inner peace. A lot of people have been working hard their entire life, so they may want to travel to different destinations to let off their steam and unwind for a while. And after that, they can recharge their batteries and come back to work with greater energy. Second, I think they want to travel because they seek to explore new things. A lot of my friends prefer traveling to far-off destinations, like somewhere off the beaten track, to discover new ways of life and gain thrilling experiences. And they have like acquired a lot of new knowledge about different cultures, and they said that really broadened their horizons.
Okay. But then, do you think that we should prepare carefully before we go on a trip?
Definitely, I think it's of crucial importance to make careful preparations for your trip. Maybe you should learn about the customs and the local traditions of the destinations you are aiming to travel, and that way you can ensure that you may not encounter cultural difficulties or language barriers when you come to a different destination. For example, if you come to India and where people worship cows, I suppose, so you may not be able to eat cows there or request cow meals. So yep, I think that kind of prepares you mentally and physically, and you can stay away from their troubles or their annoyance from people who dislike your preferences. So
Okay.
yep.
That should be fine. I thought that your answers were very natural. Your pronunciation was clear for the most part.
Yeah.
You also had access to a nice range of vocabulary. Although I'd have to say that your performance in speaking part 3 was distinctively stronger than what you brought to the table in speaking part 1.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I have a strength in IELTS writing, so when it comes to speaking part 1, my mind somehow blank, and I feel like I'm more comfortable when it comes to speaking part 3, when I can go in depth. And yep, and I haven't learned IELTS, I just self-study. So the previous time I got 8 in general, which is I master writing and I got an 8. Yep, that's why. And for speaking part 1, somehow I cannot come up with a very natural, simple answer that people often come up with.
okay, thanks for sharing. But who asked? Who asked?
Well, I just like to share.
Thank you. Don't be presumptuous now. I do think that your answers in part 3 were better, but that does not mean that in the context of a test, you're actually going to do better in speaking part 3. We can't tell for sure, that's all.
Yep.
In speaking part 1, I thought that your answers were natural, and there were a couple of mistakes. Do you say my cup of things?
Yep. Oh, sorry, I mistook it.
Yeah.
It should be my cup of tea or my things. I think so.
Exactly. That was comical.
Yep.
My cup of things.
I was nervous, so.
Okay. My cup of tea. Sure. You definitely need to use it in the negative form. Hold on, let me unplug this. Like, this lamp is so damn hot. Now stop resisting, lamp. Just a moment.
Yep.
This stupid lamp. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's like super hot. Okay. As I was saying, your answers were fine. Although there were a couple of mistakes. Did you say? And then you said I also, and then show. You repeated that particular phrase twice. Like usually there's nothing wrong with repeating phrases when we just make mistakes. But I feel like you definitely need to, iron out mistakes like that, because like when you're doing the speaking test, if you want to get to a higher level, you definitely need to strike a chord with the examiner right out the gate. So your answers in speaking part 1 need to be more polished, not in the sense that you have to use, super complicated words, because that is also uncalled for. But it's more like you need to make fewer mistakes so that your first impression is strong enough to give you extra leverage as you progress through the test. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now for speaking part 3. Oh, sorry, one more note here. May easily get along. So we were talking about chatting with friends, right? And chatting with just one person or a group of friends. Okay, my advice would be to change it into something like, if I'm talking to only one person at a time, I feel like it's easier for me to get to know them, right? Not get along more
Yeah.
easily, but more like it's easier for me to get to know them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In speaking part 3, although I want to sneeze, I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna sneeze. It's coming. Oh, it has escaped. You said something about people working their entire life. Your pronunciation was a bit unclear there. You said it again. Some people have to work their entire life.
I say it again.
Mm.
Some people have to work their entire life.
Okay, so the entire should be pronounced a bit more clearly. That's all. Because it's not in Thai, it's in Thai. There's an there. You kind of missed the third syllable when you first said it. So yeah, let's just fix that. Seek to experience. So I thought that the word seek was very nice, but then you used it twice in the same answer. Like people seek A, people seek B. Okay, fine. You need to diversify your linguistic resources, okay?
Yeah.
You can say, people seek this sort of experience, and you can say they're after, a more spiritual experience. Okay. Other than that, I thought that your lexical resources were nice here. Between the two parts, I do have to say that I prefer your answers in speaking part 3. And I like the fact that you were able to provide me, an actual example or a specific example. Like, it really elevated the quality of your answers.
Yeah.
But then again, if you want to improve your speaking score, you cannot forsake speaking part 1, even if you have a lot of confidence in your ability to engage in a discussion. Right?
Yeah.
Because part 1 is where the first impression is formed, and if it's a bad one, that's gonna be really hard for you to recover from. Okay?
Yeah.
That's all. Any questions?
So yeah, based on my performance today, what score would you give me? Like, I'm just curious.
7.5.
7.5?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I was really worried because I'm gonna take an IELTS test soon, like after I graduate. Because so yep. Thank you for spending time today, and I appreciate your help.
So when was the score? What was the score that you got in your previous attempt?
Like overall,
No, just speaking.
7.
Oh, it means that you're improving, but be careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
With part.
Yeah. Noted. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye
I'm
bye.
gonna keep on speaking because I haven't really used up all of the energy bestowed upon me by Phúc Long. I wonder if he's still here. Hello. Hello. Polo. Polo, can you hear us? Just divorce with math. Okay, sure. Yeah, Polo, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds. Polo, I am 50 centimeters, no, 25 centimeters from pushing you out. Hello.
Hello.
Wow, hold on. Just give me a moment. I'm looking super handsome now. The hair is just right. Okay. We can start speaking now. What do you want?
I feel like I want to try part 1 because I don't feel like I can handle the pressure for speaking part 3 right now because I don't know, like I just feel like I don't like speaking in front of other people, so I'm not very confident in IELTS. So that's the reason why I want to try how can I perform under pressure.
One thing that I do recommend you to do is to finish your sentences. It's a very good tip actually, because sometimes when you are like being super emotional, you might want to hop from one idea to another, but that tends to confuse the person that's listening to you. And that's why, when someone is having like a mental breakdown, you always tell them to just calm down and communicate with us, get all the words out. So that's the first piece of advice, right? I do think that you know how to speak English. It's just that when you're nervous, you tend to bounce from one idea to another, even when you haven't really completed your initial thought. Okay, so do that. Try to complete your sentences instead of hopping from one idea to another. Okay, let's do speaking part 1. This is gonna be a breeze, I think. Let's talk about advertisements. What do you usually do when an advertisement or a commercial comes on TV or the internet?
Honestly, I just don't care because I feel like it's a little bit distracted. So it sometimes pissed me off, but I try not to care much about it because normally I'm not easily swayed by commercials.
Sure. Then, have you seen an advertisement that you really didn't like?
So yeah, I think there are a couple of advertisements that well, I don't really like, especially I think those that have kind of like racist content or sexualizing women. So well, those kind of contents are pretty trashy in my opinion, I think.
Okay. Would you like to be in an advertisement or a commercial one day?
Well, honestly, I'm an antisocial person, so I'd rather not to be featured on any means of social media, especially commercials or advertisement. I'm very shy and socially awkward, so that's the least thing I want to do. It's my pet peeves to appear like on those means of communication and media.
Right. Let's continue. One more speaking part 1 topic. Let's talk about sharing things. Have you shared anything with others recently?
So I think recently I shared my Netflix accounts with my friend because they needed to do the assignments. They need to watch a documentary. So I let her use my account. Like normally I will try to help my friends when they're in need. So I'll be willing to share anything that I have and I can afford.
Okay. And what kinds of things do you tend not to share with others?
Well, I think it's a little bit cliche, but obviously, well, if I have a girlfriend, I will not share it with my friends because, well, I feel like I'm talking gibberish right now. Can I answer this question again because I feel like that answer is very gibberish, it's cliche. Okay,
So, what kinds of things do you tend not to share with people?
So I think I will not share the ideas of my assignment to my peers because I feel like I can help them with their assignment, but I don't want them to depend on my ideas that I'll use for my assignments. I want to like support them and like assist them whenever they need. Just not like use my entire idea or just share my unique thoughts, so yeah.
Okay. So, when you were a kid, did your parents encourage you to share things with others?
Yeah, I think obviously because my parents are Buddhist, so when I was a kid, my parents taught me a lot about Buddhist teachings, like how to be generous, how to be kind and nice toward other people. They teach me about empathy and sharing things is a way that you show your hospitality and the willingness to be compassionate with those who are in need.
Okay, fine. That should be it for now, I suppose. Okay. I thought that your answers were very natural, except for that ridiculous answer regarding showing your girlfriend. You were
Yeah.
right when you said that your answer was gibberish. I mean, it's I guess it's your sense of humor, but try to be more mindful of what you do in a speaking test. That's all.
Yeah.
When you're talking to your friends, that's fine. You I've only noticed one particular mistake. The least thing I would want to do. Oftentimes, the more natural phrase here is the last thing that I would want to do. The last.
Yeah. The last thing I want to do.
Is that the sound of your stomach?
Yeah.
Wow. It was loud and clear.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's so embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing. Boy, you need a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
Other than that, I thought that your answers were natural. Not on the caliber of 8 or 9 by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely somewhere around 7. You had enough vocabulary to express your thoughts. Your grammar was sufficient in a way. You know what? As I was listening to you, I was drawn to the chunks of words that you were using, which is a good sign. Right? And I did notice your grammar mistakes, although I'm pretty sure that there are more than a few. It's just that, I was like ensnared by your pronunciation and your chunking. Not that there's anything super exquisite about the way that you pronounce English words. It's just that, I thought that you had a very nice rhythm. So you definitely need to make full use of that. And with regard to your fluency, there were a couple of points where you hesitated a bit too much, and that repeated throughout the entire test. So if you want to get to a higher score, perhaps that's one area that you can work on. Okay.
Yeah, I think I also need to work on my mentality because, well, I don't think I'm good at organizing and kind of like, structuring my speech when my brain froze. So I think that's something I need to to work on more about like my mentality because it's easier for me to express my thoughts and my words on writing. But for speaking, it's something you need to react instantly, and I don't think my processing speed and working memory are kind of like sufficient for these kind of situations. Because especially when I'm under pressure, I tend to mumble and hesitate a lot, I think.
I like the fact that even though you were talking about your struggles to extend your answers, you were able to just, keep on dragging things out. So apparently, you may not be that fluent in English, but you're super fluent in complaining. Okay.
Yeah, I
fine.
think so.
Right. Well, any other question?
Yeah, I think probably that's it. So, in a nutshell, I need to work on my fluency, my fluency, and well, yeah, okay. I'll try to reflect on that. And thank you for your advice. Thank you for the experience. Like this is such a helpful opportunity to talk to you. So.
Okay. Thank you. Just divorced.
Oh yeah, and by the way, just to reaffirm that, your hair looks nice. Yeah, you look so nice today. So yeah.
Like, come on. I mean, like, it only looks nice from a particular angle, and I need to stay still. But doesn't it look beachy? Not bitchy, beachy. Doesn't it feel like, wow, there's that ocean breeze that, permeates this hair? Okay.
Oh, I think it looks really cool.
I know.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know what? There's a crime being done here. Do you know what it is?
No.
It's the fact that only 27 people get to see this. I think that this hair deserves more attention. It should be
Oh, I
seen by
see.
like
Yeah.
10,000 people,
Yeah, that's right. You're totally right.
I know.
More people need to see this handsome face and your hair, and yep.
Perhaps not the face, but the hair, darling.
The hair. Okay.
Wow. Look at that. I am mesmerized by my own hairline. How superficial am I? Okay. Well, good luck and stay divorced with math, I assume.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Have a good one.
People, we're gonna continue because I still have a lot more gas in my tank. Mèo cam này nè. Tối nay thầy định live tiếp writing không? Yes, there will still be a live stream for writing. Well, I'm free today because most of my science students are taking a winter break. So, I have a lot more time for you. But just excuse me. Now, divorce, go somewhere, please. Thank you. And I need to do something. And by that, I mean I need to drink a bit of milk tea from Phúc Long. And then we're gonna have we're gonna continue this conversation, okay? And also I'm gonna do a writing streaming session at 8 o'clock today. So 8 to 11 because I have some homework to do, right? So I might as well drag you into that mess so that I can promote my new, exam prep classes. But still, okay, for the time being, people, let's have a toilet break. Is this gonna be, I feel like this live stream session is gonna be even longer than Avatar, right? So do something about that. Grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, and stay tuned, okay? Oh, hold on, there's a phrase. Grab a snack and come on back. I'm gonna be off for just 1 minute. The stream is still on, but I need to, refuel myself. All right. Hold on, what am I supposed to do here? The hair is so good! Yes, Gwen! Yes! Look at that. I'm back. Oh, dang it, man. I have ruined it. Okay, people, let's resume.
Hello?
Hello. Haven't we just talked?
Yes, last night.
Oh, well then, what exactly do you want?
Oh, I just want to practice. I knocked it out for the test coming up, so it would be
Okay.
great if you ask me questions and send me feedback because I found what you said last night. How could I say informative yet useful?
Well, if you're asking for feedback, I don't assume that this is the right time to ask for it because I don't think that things would change, but you're here, so here's my suggestion. I'm going to put the ball in your court by giving you a speaking part 2 topic, okay? And then I like you to just, have a good time with it. Maybe 2 speaking part 2 topics. All right? And I would like you to think about the things that you need to work on. Can you tell me the things that you would like to improve?
Oh, I would love to improve my responses to part 3 questions. Like last night, I was not that focused and I just answered question like I didn't really focus on like the best way to do the questions. I didn't do it properly, I thought. So today I just want to give it a try. But if you give me a topic part 2, I'm very happy. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fine. We can do part 3. But I'm not gonna note down anything because it's gonna take you a while to actually improve. I mean, also, I do believe that too many chefs spoil the broth. If you take too much advice, too many comments, you're gonna be drowned, and like you won't be able to make a tangible improvement.
I know.
Hold on. I need to do something about this hair. Come on, hair. Come on.
You look good, man.
Oh my god. I'm not asking for your validation. I have to feel like, the hair is working with me. No. It's really up to chance. I mean, If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna have a sore head from all the scratching. Right. Okay, I like the texture now. It looks like a mountain range, don't you think? And also, this is a massive forehead. Okay. So before we start, let's go through the objectives that you wish to accomplish. What exactly do you want to achieve?
Like I told you before, the last time I took the test, I got an
No,
8.
hold on. I'm
Oh,
not asking for
I
your
know.
goal in terms of
And
score. I want you to think about, the skills that you need to improve, the techniques that you want to apply.
I guess like it's about fluency, how to address the question in the right way, how to develop ideas properly, yeah, with good control of pronunciation, accuracy, I think.
Okay, that sounds like a lot, but all right. Hold on. Let's talk about the sky then. What can you see when you look at the sky?
These days it's hard to see anything visible in the sky, especially when it comes to the night. Maybe due to light pollution, it's almost impossible for people to identify any clusters of stars or celestial body.
Wow. Okay, continue. Nothing else?
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue then. Why do many people take photos of sunrises and sunsets?
It seems like there are many nature lovers out there who would love to enjoy those landscapes. One more reason behind it is their curiosity that motivates them to pursue such a hobby, which is now growing in popularity, I suppose. Other than that, there are many more technical devices allowing people to do so, to capture those beautiful moments with high quality photos. Maybe one more explanation could be due to the fact that people do it professionally. Take photographers as an example. They can make a living by those pictures and even win some awards to reach their career peak.
Okay. But then, what do you think about the idea of investing in space research?
Although many find it wasteful, like an extravagance, I personally consider it as a necessity. I mean, such a vital area of investment by the state. It is advisable for central government these days across countries around the world, to subsidize those projects for the sake of human beings one day. Who knows? If the next day man-made disasters or natural catastrophes wipe out the population on Earth.
In your opinion, will that approach have more benefits or drawbacks?
There are both pros and cons if we have to weigh up, and it's hard to come up with a valid answer. It seems like NASA has been making endeavors which should be highly appreciated despite abundant money amounts spent so far. But one of the plausible theories is, at the time people identify an extraterrestrial, like an ET, an alien, and have good contacts with other creatures beyond the Earth, they might identify something beyond humans' understanding. They may gain maybe more insights into the universe, and somehow the benefits are incredibly potential, things that cannot be measured currently.
Okay,
In this
that's
respect,
really
I
helpful.
would
Thank you.
admit,
I noticed one mistake. Incredibly potential. What do you mean by that?
I would say like incredibly beneficial. I'm sorry,
Oh, okay,
or potentially beneficial.
sure. So, well then, the question is, what do you think? I mean, have you managed to make the sort of improvement that you set out to do?
I assume like I struggle with explanation, making it coherent. I'm not sure whether I say it sounds fluent from the perspective of the examiner. I mean, I'm not that confident, and I guess like my accent is a limit. Like the way I pronounce words, there can be several mispronounced words or syllables, especially when it comes to consonants.
Okay. I thought that, hold on, just a moment. What's going on here? Well, what is this thing again? Well, what I think is that you sounded exactly like what you did yesterday. Your second and your third answers were better than the first one, probably because you were able to gain enough momentum to just keep on speaking. But the first one was average. I mean, there wasn't that much of an improvement in my opinion. So how can I help you?
It just can you give me a mark? Like I have no idea at what level I am. Like whether it's just 7 or 7.5 or 8. Okay, just what do you think?
Not an 8 for me. Not for me, but perhaps if your examiner feels that you're an 8, that's all that matters, right? I have to say that your second and third answers were much better because you were able to speak more. So, but that was already a virtue. The first answer wasn't that good, to be honest. I think in general, like when you do the speaking test, it's not that you had to drag things out all the time, but the first answer tends to be very important because like that's your first shot, right? So your first impression has to be strong so that you can maintain it till the end of the test. So for me, the first answer was probably a 7, not a 6.5, not by any stretch of the imagination. Not a 6.5, a 7, but also not a 7.5 in my opinion. And towards the end, you were able to gain that momentum to just keep on speaking. So that was nice. So overall for me, 7.5.
Thank you.
That's all. Good luck. And also, I mean, I'm serious, Polo. I don't think that I can notice like a difference over just one night. Just give yourself a bit more time, perhaps next week. Although I'm not quite sure if
Okay. No, I highly appreciate that. I don't really, I appreciate listening to you this way. Yeah, hearing your feedback and just it's such a great idea just to have somebody remark my performance.
Okay.
I don't expect any changes made. I just want to measure it. I mean, from different variable perspectives of different teachers. Yeah, thank you for it.
Thank you. Okay, let's continue. Hello, give me a moment. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, give me a moment. I'm trying to log in this account. I'm not quite sure what's obstructing me from doing so. Oof. It's not logging in. Okay, well, we're gonna wait, but we're gonna resume because this might be the last person for this session. Okay, so what's your name and what do you want?
Oh my gosh. My name is Fariza and I'm from Kazakhstan. I'm teenager, I would say. And after after 15 days, I have IELTS, my IELTS exam.
Oh, so you're gonna take an IELTS test after 15 days. Sorry, not
Yeah.
15 days from now. Like 2 weeks from now, you're gonna have a test.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So, what do you want?
So,
Test?
I can see that your level is very good. Yeah. So, can you give me advice what I can do? What sections I can improve around a short time?
Short period of time?
Yeah, short period of time. 15 days, it's a very short.
So you have a goal?
Yeah, I really want to get a 7.0.
A 7.0. A 7.0 overall or in just speaking?
For overall.
Overall.
Yeah.
But then
I just want. Yeah.
But then
I just
it's a bit
wanted.
vague. What exactly do you want me to help you with? Like in reading, speaking, writing, or like do you know where you are right now on the IELTS band score?
No, can you give me like speaking advices? I don't think that my speaking skills are good enough, so I need more devices to improve my speaking.
Do you know your current level?
Yeah, actually, I know I did a mock tests with my teacher, and I got a 6.5.
Okay. So you're aiming for 7.
Yeah, I really want to get overall.
Okay.
But I need to improve my speaking skills.
That's fine. That's fine. Well, I can tell that you're already exhibiting features of a band 7 candidate, and let me give you, a few details. You are capable of speaking English, which is of course a very important prerequisite. You can add details. You can use a nice range of vocabulary. You can use grammar structures, and you can display the ability to chunk in a sensible way. So I think that if you want to get to band 7, in terms of fluency, my advice would be for you to try to push the ideas out a bit faster, just a bit faster, because when you were talking, I noticed that you hesitated a lot, but you were still able to pump out like new details. So perhaps one thing you can do is that you can try to extend your ideas with more details. Okay. So for speaking part 1, try to always produce at least 3 sentences. with, you know, a complex sentence every once in a while. Okay?
Okay.
That's the first thing for fluency. For pronunciation.
Okay, I get it.
For pronunciation, I feel like if you can do that for fluency, you can also do that for pronunciation. The crux of the issue is that I feel like you don't, you know, produce long sentences that often. So it's hard for the examiner to, you know, believe that you can extend your ideas effortlessly. Do you understand? So do that.
Yeah, I get it.
And for vocabulary and grammar structures, I do encourage you to use more words, right? But oftentimes, you know, that tends to come naturally with, you know, your willingness to speak at length. So use more grammar structures, use more linguistic resources, so on and so forth, right? Yeah. In other words, be more confident.
Okay, thank you very much for your advice.
Okay.
I will use them, all of them.
Huh?
I will use all of these advices.
Okay. Good luck. I hope that you're going to get what you want.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Let's continue. There's one more person. I need to recharge my batteries. Wow, she is a foreigner. She's from Kazakhstan. Oh. Oh, well then I guess that's all we have for today. So we have been live streaming for 3 hours, and we're gonna have one more session today, but it's gonna start from 8 because I have homework to do. It's a pity. Oh. My honey is not home this evening, but I don't think I can take another. I don't think I can take like another night. You know, going to bed at 1 in the morning, because as you can tell, I'm struggling to connect the dots now. But the hair is looking pretty cute. If I hit the shower now, I wonder if I'm going to be able to restore this kind of glory on my head. Well, we'll see. Well, there's another streaming session this evening, and there will be a Zoom link for people to hop on. Not that I'm going to give you any you know, anything new. Yeah. Just hop on and do some homework with me, okay? Is it writing? Yes. Okay, that should be it for now. Bye-bye.